So this was the final week of the undefeated teams in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs finally were defeated in probably a surprising result to your Pittsburgh Steelers. What did you make of the game, James, and what did you think when you were watching it?
Yeah, you might think we're looking at this game obviously because I'm a Steelers fan, but I think it was a significant result in terms of the NFL. I think it proves that this is a week-to-week league, as I've said in the video last. You know, I just can't predict the results anymore. I don't know who the most dominant teams are anymore. The Chiefs come and lose to the Steelers, and what a bounce back from the Steelers from that horrendous defeat to the Jaguars, proving why they are a Super Bowl contender and rightly should be. Big Ben playing as well as he should, not playing brilliantly, not winning the game single-handedly. You know, they relied on Le'Veon Bell getting a lot of touches, but patient, finding the gaps, running it well. Antonio Brown made the plays when he needed to. You've got, other players, Juju Smith-Schuster coming in, when he's needed. There's been talk of Martavis Bryant wanting to trade away, but apparently that's not true. Maybe he can step into the play. And as a Steelers fan, very, very pleasing to see them perform, shut down the Chiefs' offense to virtually nothing. And it just made me think it was very similar to the playoff game in January. Are the Steelers the Chiefs' bogey team? They just seem to struggle coming up against the Steelers.
See, the thing I was saying to you when we were watching the game, and what I was finding was that I just think that Andy Reid seemed to be, maybe not Andy Reid calling the plays, but Alex Smith especially, scared to attack the Steelers' defence. Now, you're talking that this guy's got good weapons there. Yes, Travis Kelce's coming off a potential concussion, and you maybe do want to lay off him a little bit in the passing game, and I get that completely. Tyreek Hill, the fastest player in the NFL, Kareem Hunt, these guys need targets. I know Kareem is a running back, but the run game wasn't working. We saw them play the little short pass over the top to him a few times when the other receivers have gone deep, and Kareem Hunt was making yards on that one. Why did Alex Smith not want to attack the Steelers? I don't know. This is a team that got profoundly beaten by the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, and you're the undefeated team. You are the team to beat. They've got a solid defense. Big Ben was picked off in that game. Ben was picked off again, but the defense could only do so much. The offense just didn't get going at all, and it was massively disappointing from the Chiefs. Especially because I've kind of put the Chiefs on my back a little bit and said I think they're going to go all the way. I think that they've got some good players. I've got a lot of them in my fantasy team. And a guy that you mentioned to me that I think that they miss, a guy like Albert Wilson, someone who's not actually that main threat guy.
Chris Conley as well.
Yeah, two guys who are out there who you think, if Albert Wilson was in the slot, that just that third down play becomes 10 times easier with a guy like him going underneath. I think it was disappointing more so for the Chiefs than good for the Steelers. I think the Steelers always had that. I think the Jags game was a complete and utter shambles on their part, but I think that was just, that game was lost, and that scoreline was accentuated by the fact that I think the Steelers gave up a little bit. But I think it's disappointing for the Chiefs, and you're thinking if they do they're going to make the playoffs, aren't they? And are they going to perform there? Are they going to be a team that this is a team that can beat the Patriots? They've done that. Are they going to go and win the Super Bowl? Are they going to get to the Super Bowl? Are they going to be able to beat these teams that you're going to be in the same conversation as them now?
Yeah, it just makes you think about Alex Smith. I was alluding to on a video before, and I've kind of defended him recently, but it just makes you question whether can he get it done in big games? Can he make the throws? Can he work the field when he's missing a couple of receivers that he relies on? Can he carry his side? I'm not sure. What do you think? I'm
thinking. That game, for the most part, it's a close game. All right, they're maybe 2 possessions down at the most part throughout the whole game. Would Tom Brady have been running that football in the third quarter, deep into the third quarter? Would Tom Brady have been running that ball? Would Aaron Rodgers have been handing it off and playing short passes? No, there wouldn't be. He'd be firing it down the field. He'd be getting the yards. Trust in your receivers. Tyreek Hill's one of the best young receivers in the game. Yeah, fair enough, he is better on the short ones. No end around was played. Not once did they get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands behind the line of scrimmage and let him go after the corners. Okay? Not once did they go deep for him. Not once did they try and throw it over the top and let him race the cornerbacks. Okay? So why are they not doing that?
I'm just not seeing. I didn't see any swagger from that Chiefs team. They had to come out and be like, we're the better team. We're a better team than the Steelers.
They were 5-0. They were perfectly good enough to do that. Alex Smith doesn't want to do that. You wouldn't see Tom Brady doing that. You wouldn't see Rodgers doing that. Big Ben, you would see him taking those chances. Personally, for me, it was very disappointing to watch that Chiefs side, a team that I have a lot of faith in and I actually do enjoy watching, and to see them not go for some of the better players as well. Kareem Hunt, you know, props to the guy, gets 100 yards again, fantastic start to his NFL career. But you know, you're thinking, come on, the Steelers team's going off the back of a heavy defeat, and I just think, you know, Kansas City now got to go and play Oakland, who've not looked good, but you know, Oakland are going to want to win. Divisional rivalry. Could this be a slippery slope for Kansas City?
Yeah, and just much like the NFC, it opens up the debate. The AFC is a completely open division, and a few of these teams stalling, well, the Chiefs stalling with this defeat, and it just gives the New England Patriots a chance to regroup themselves and maybe come back and take that whole conference, but we'll see. I mean, there's a number of sides. Who do you see the big sides in the AFC?
Big sides in the AFC for me, I'm liking the divisional leaders, to be honest, for the most part. The Pats look solid still, a few injuries, but you know, a comprehensive victory over the Jets, which was quite difficult. I mean, Austin Seferi and Jenkins TD should have stood, but I think the Pats still go on and win that game. If Brady needs a TD, he gets one. Chiefs, I still think, are solid. I like that division. I think is probably weaker than what it was last year. Steelers, for me, got to be up there, and I like talking about the teams like the Jags. These teams who you don't know what you're going to get. Leonard Fournette, who knows how to stop him? Their defence, can you throw it on them? You've got one of the best passers in the league, Big Ben, throwing up 5 interceptions against them, some of the best corners, and you're talking you can't really run them because you've got guys like Calais Campbell as well. So I think the divisional leaders, I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Steelers. I think they're my favourite team in that. I think to do well, if I had to put, if I was a betting man, I would put money on that now, because I think even if the Chiefs don't lose again all season and they meet the Steelers at Arrowhead in January for the NFC title game, they're going to get beat because Alex Smith won't throw the ball.
Yeah, obviously very pleasing to see my side, the Steelers, get picked as a potential winner for the AFC, and our producer Jack's side, the Eagles, getting picked as a potential winner for the NFC.
That's going to be a Pennsylvania Super Bowl, so it's a shame that it's not in Pennsylvania, but it would be a good experience. But yeah, that's all about all we have time for this one.